Okay, so it looks like we're 7:05 on the dot, so we
Mhm.
might as well get started. If there's any late joiners, I'll just add them in as we go
Mhm.
on with the presentation.
Sure.
And I think I've got everyone muted. Sorry, everyone, bear with me. This is my first time doing one of these. And my computer didn't work, so we're doing it from my phone. Okay, so, oh, there's one more right there. Yes. Sorry. So if you see my finger, I apologize. Okay, view lobby. Okay. Perfect. All right. So welcome everybody to our Costa Rica webinar with Colette. My name's Nicole Blows. I am the branch manager in the Stratford office, and I am also going to be escorting the tour to Costa Rica in January. A little bit about me. I've been with the company for I'm just over 7 years now. Um, and I just started getting into group tours back in 2025. This will be my third escorted group. I've done Ireland, taking a group to Scotland in 2 weeks. And I'm really looking forward to taking a group of people to Costa Rica. I was fortunate enough to visit Costa Rica in August of 2024. I did a similar tour to this. A lot of people think that Costa Rica is mostly all inclusives. So I'm very excited for Heidi and myself to teach you about all of the amazing things and sights and animals and everything that you're going to see when you're there. So without further ado, I'm gonna let Heidi take over. So Heidi is one of our BDMs from Colette,
Mhm.
and she's been in the travel industry for a very long time. Very long
Don't make
time.
don't make me sound
Yes.
old.
No, she's not old, but she knows her stuff. So she's gonna take over.
Yes.
And then we'll go through the presentation, and then if there's questions after,
Mhm.
um, do you want us to just have people type them in the chat, or would you have
Yep.
people
Yeah, I
unmute
mean, we can come
themselves?
off of they can unmute themselves and ask a question. That's not a problem. Rather than and if there's anything after the fact, obviously we can address it in like the next day or so if you reach out to
Sure.
Nicole. But we'll talk about it at the end for sure.
Perfect.
Good.
Okay, so I'm gonna mute myself, and I'll let
Okay.
you. Oh, there's more people coming, and I'll keep letting them in, and you can take over.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, thank you everybody for joining me at this hour. Hopefully, you're settled in and either have a good cup of coffee, which of course Costa Rica is very well known for, or like me, I'm drinking tea, um, and or maybe a glass of wine, or maybe thinking about Scotland, maybe a glass of whiskey. But we're going to get started, obviously, on the Pura Vida Costa Rica trip. Of course, that Blows Stewart Travel is hosting along with the lovely Nicole. So I'm going to continue through and just talk to you a little bit about Colette. So Colette is very much like Blows Travel, or the portion of Blows Stewart Travel. It is a family-owned business. We have been in business since 1918. So if you do the math, that's about 108 years. We are going into our 109th season. Um, Coming into the following year, 2027. But we are still, as I said, family owned, family run, completely debt free, and financially stable. We refunded probably close to $1.2 million during COVID, when, of course, travel came to a very quick standstill. And we didn't hold on to anybody's money. There's no point in us holding on to the money and waiting for you to decide whether or not you are going to use that credit to travel. You'd be earning the money, earning interest on it in your high yield savings account, or investing it somewhere else. It would get a better return. So we didn't believe in holding on to the money. And a lot of you have come back and have traveled with Colette again, which is we're very grateful for. We now have our third generation owner of the family, the Sullivan family, in place at Colette. We have our first female CEO. Her name is Jacqueline Leibel-Cote. She is originally from Rhode Island, but she is married to my boss, Christian, who is originally from Quebec, and they've got 3 kids, twins and a daughter. And they're very family oriented and they're very family first. So they're a really great company to work for. But when we talk about Colette and what we talk about by travelers for travelers. That's our tagline. That's what you'll see when you maybe watch the Wheel of Fortune. If you've seen Colette before, we're on the Wheel of Fortune. We have advertisements with, Breakfast Television, with Zoomer Magazine, but they are expertly crafted tours really for the modern traveler. And there's a lot of myths. When you think about coach touring or guided vacations, there's, the go, go, go pace, the herded like cattle type of theory. We do things differently. And of course, being in business for as long as we have to evolve at every step, of the tour, of the design that we do. And all of the people that design our tours are in destination. So one of my great colleagues, Vasia, she designs Croatia. She lives there. We have Elena and Shannon. Shannon, a very Irish name, but she actually is Italian, and they live in Italy. And they design the tours because they have those local connections. And all of our local guides are based in the destination, or either from the destination or live there. And so everything that we put into all of the tours is designed locally because we believe that that's the only way that we can get that immediate connection. So there's really no break in between what we design and our promise and the people that are in the destination. There's no third party. So when we talk about what we do and the premium experience, our team is comprised of curious travelers like you. They create trips that they'd want to go on themselves or, send a good friend on. They get the must-sees, but also have access to, all of the experiences that you'd be hard pressed to find on your own. And they're thinking about how to improve it every single time we launch a tour. And many tour operators book trips that have, backtracking towards an airport that takes time from your adventure and ends up giving you more time on a coach, more distance traveled. And we limit that type of round trip tour with many of our destinations. We have about 170 different itineraries across 7 continents. So there's a ton of things to choose from. And we do prioritize 2, 3, and 4 nights in hotels because you can't spend time exploring when you're too busy packing to get to the next place. So it's a real peace of mind when we're designing these tours that we have that in place. And then when we talk about every touch point before, during, and after the tour, it really does matter. All you really need to know is that you're going to have fun. We take care of the details. We're planning the trip so that we can get you from place to place each step of the way, and that includes handling any issues that may pop up. We have our regionally based tour managers. They're experts in the destination, speak multiple languages. They can be historians, they can be naturalists, they could be bird watchers, and they bring the trip to life. It's the first thing travelers say about enjoying trips is the people that they speak to, the people that guide the tours themselves. And so we have must-sees, but we also have local experiences, not one or the other. You have a really good balance of both. And it's good that we have all of those culturally immersive culinary experiences as well. That really does give you that sense of what the country's about. I don't think I know anybody that doesn't go to a destination and doesn't think about the food. I for sure think about the food before I go because I'm really curious about what there is to offer there and what type of delicacies we're going to get to try and really what the locals eat. There's all of those types of experience that we really do immerse ourselves when we get there. So let's talk about Pura Vida, the ultimate Costa Rica experience, which is a really beautiful itinerary put together, January 26th to February 6th. What a perfect time to go because it's right in that really cold season, obviously, where we are, and I'm sure that there's quite a few people here from all over Ontario, maybe even further. During that time, you're thinking, oh my goodness, when is this winter going to end? When can I get on a plane and go somewhere nice? Well, here we go. We've got this great option for you to really take advantage of getting out of that dismal Canadian winter, and just really get to Pura Vida, Costa Rica, and explore the sun. So we fly into San Jose, and we are spending a couple of nights in Tortuguero. Of course, we're in San Carlos. We go to Arenal, of course, is famous for the volcano, and then we're in Playa Herradura, and then we go to San Jose. So really nice, balanced itinerary, lots of 2 nights, lots of time to experience the destination, which is lovely. And this is an explorations tour. So what that means for you is it's ideal for you who are culturally curious. You get to say yes to some of those unique experiences that maybe you'd be hard pressed to find on your own. And the accommodations that we have on these types of tours are perfectly there to capture that local vibe, meaning that your exploration never stops. And we travel with a small group, an average group size of 19 travelers, and you get to improve tomorrow with socially responsible impact moments that we include on the tour and some of that carbon offsetting. So it's designed to be a small group. It's not a large group that we've put a smaller date on. It is designed specifically to immerse yourself because it's designed to be a small group itself. And it's a tour activity level 3. What do we mean by that? Well, on average, when you're looking at our tour activity levels for any of our tours, we'll definitely rate it based on what the experiences might give you, like a 2.5 hour walk at a moderate pace. But what that means, obviously for Costa Rica, the roads in Costa Rica are a little bit sometimes impacted by heavy rains. They can be a little bit bumpy. Some of the roads are winding, some are unpaved, but it's all about that adventure, really, in Costa Rica. And especially when you're staying in Tortuguero, you're staying at an eco lodge. And it's a really experiential stay that exposes you to amazing wildlife. The rooms are rustic and basic, but comfortable, and they can only be accessed by motorboat. And some of the places that we stay, the rooms are on stilts. So just different types of terrain, different type of environment. And I'll just show you a little bit about know before you go. So packing, rain gear, maybe an umbrella, a raincoat, maybe a poncho. Obviously, bring a reusable water bottle, maybe some insect repellent, of course, because it's highly recommended for Costa Rica. Footwear. Many trails in Costa Rica are, maybe a little bit dirty, muddy roads. Be prepared for types of weather, and make sure to choose something really, really comfortable. And for your clothing, pack in layers. Consider the time of year that you're going to be going. Of course, between December to April, it is dry season, which is great. It gives you a chance to maybe wear some shorts, bring some long sleeves and pants. If you're sensitive to, maybe insects or the sun. And water is safe to drink in Costa Rica, except for some of the rural areas. So you may want to drink bottled water, and we actually provide that daily on the coach, but you can also purchase it at the hotel and convenience stores. So Costa Rica, the time zone, not a big time zone different. It's 1 hour behind Eastern Standard Time. Of course, elevation, the highest elevation on this tour is about 2,000 feet. And then, of course, the local currency is the Costa Rican colon. So if you have any questions at the end, we'll be able to answer that. The tour managers really are glue. I think they are the ones that really do show the best side of the destination that we're going to because they are knowledgeable. For example, Guillermo was one of our tour managers on a Costa Rica tour. Sometimes they are naturalists. They know about the wildlife. They know all about the destination because they're passionate about their home turf. And so it's really vital that we have the right one. And we have some fabulous tour directors on all of our tours, and they all bring something really unique to every single destination that we use them on. So let's talk about Pura Vida. Obviously this is thrilling water journeys to jungle expeditions. We get to explore that essence of Costa Rica. It's an emerald wonderland. Ireland is known as the Isle, but this is really a wonderland because it's so biodiverse, and it is one of the most biodiverse destinations in the world. So when we launch in Pura Vida. Pura Vida means the simple life, and it's, both a greeting and a state of mind. It really encapsulates the laid back, friendly, and welcoming vibe of Costa Ricans. And it's really an attitude. It's a celebration of life in the moment. And the people there, I know Nicole probably can speak to this, are just incredibly friendly and just love to talk about the country and just love to show you all of the unique aspects of this particular destination. So we arrive into San Jose. We are welcomed into a country that's unlike anywhere else in the world. You're really where Pura Vida is a way of life. And then we head into Tortuguero National Park. We start our day on day 2, and it's really a region that's been shaped by rainforest, water, wildlife. It's the Amazon of Costa Rica, and there's about 46,000 protected acres in Tortuguero, and it's a haven for birds, reptiles, jungle species, and it's best experienced by boat because there's lots of winding waterways framed by really dense vegetation. Um, and we continue on because we get to do a responsible travel highlight. So our journey continues by boat. And we get to experience and support conservation efforts in a really remarkable ecosystem. So we visit the world's first sea turtle research station, and we get to learn how research and protection efforts really support endangered green turtles and other species. So it's a really impactful moment and really a great responsible travel highlight. And then we get to explore Tortuguero town with the tour manager. It's really a community unlike anywhere else. It's actually located on a very narrow strip of land, and it's actually only accessible by boat or small plane. And it's a real vibrant blend of Hispanic, Afro-Caribbean, and Mosquito Indian cultures. And you have a chance to browse some shops and take in some local life at a really easy pace. And then we get to settle into the Evergreen Lodge. And this is one of those really great eco lodges that we stay at. And it's our jungle home for the next 2 nights. So it's set in the heart of the rainforest, really close to the park entrance. And it's a amazing place where the wilderness really does continue even after the day's excursions. And you get to fall asleep to the sound of monkeys and birds and, of course, the forest at night. And really with this haven of this evergreen lodge, we get to connect with nature while relaxing from the travel. So it's a small lodge, it's about 66 rooms, again, accessible only by boat. But we use wood at the lodge from sustainable sources. Cabins on stilts really do help reduce that environmental impact. And the rainforest really is, it's this whole lodge is in a setting that makes every moment really feel alive. And then we do this fantastic nature cruise. You cannot explore Tortuguero, by land. It has to be done on water to begin with because you're, getting into that nature cruise and getting into the depths to sort of see all of those protected habitats. And it really is a paradise for people that are birders, bird watching. It's a real powerful reminder of the park's importance. And you might even see the elusive green macaw and a lot of other bird species as you're floating on this beautiful cruise. And then there's lots of different things that you're going to be able to see as you're going through. The boat becomes your jungle safari vehicle, and your local guide really knows these waterways intimately. Can scan the canopy for sloths and rare birds, and then you can watch the canal banks for movement, and then you can listen for some of the monkeys calling through the rainforest in the distance. So Costa Rica, fun fact, has 4 common species of monkeys. So there's the howler, there is the squirrel, the spider, and of course the white-faced capuchin. monkey. So you'll get to see all of them. It's an amazing, very, very different safari. For anybody that's done Africa, this is like the other side. It's just feels like the Amazon. It's like the rainforest. It's just incredibly beautiful and so diverse. And when you're talking about the biodiversity, it's really staggering, and it's a real great chance to witness it up close. There's about 500,000 species of wildlife that live there. Many are endangered or rare, and about 900 species of them are birds. And it's a big reason why Tortuguero feels really like a birder's dream. So just beautiful colors and dense forest and just so many things to see. You're always going to be looking for something. And then you have a little bit of free time in the afternoon. The rainforest is right outside your door. You can either wander around the area closer to, of course, the Eco Lodge, wander the grounds, see what you can spot on your own. You can sample some local cuisine as you relax, maybe some Caribbean-inspired flavors, or relax by the pool. It's a turtle-shaped pool, but it's beautiful and you have a chance to recharge. So this is where we get to meet the locals. So tonight we get to connect with the human side of Tortuguero's remote life. We learn about the village life in this remote community. We watch a coconut harvesting and a preparation demonstration, and they make coconut candy, and we get to sample that while we're there, which is fantastic. So we get to experience an impact moment, and we visit a cacao plantation in Tirambina Rainforest Center. It's an ecotourism destination that is really vigilant of some of their environmental, social, and economic impacts. And we learn about the process of sustainably converting cacao seed from bean to bar. And of course, you get to taste it yourself, which is fantastic. And you tour the plantation and you talk about the evolution of chocolate making and discover the sustainable process. You may never look at a normal chocolate bar again, but it is an amazing thing to see how it goes from start to finish. And it's really, really good. And I don't know if Nicole's had any, but I'm sure she'll talk about it because it is really, really lovely. And then we arrive at the Tilayari Hotel Resort. Beautiful, secluded nature retreat for about 2 nights. And this is set along the San Carlos River with really great, serene lowland views. And they've got gardens and fruit trees, lemon, guava, mango. And they have, a beautiful little jacuzzi. They have a semi-Olympic sized pool. So there's lots of different ways for you to relax once we get there. And then this morning's river safari really just invites you to kind of slow down again and observe that rainforest in motion. We float along the Penas Blancas River with a naturalist guide. We can watch for monkeys, sloths, birds, other wildlife along the banks. And it's a real peaceful journey where, really there's lots of sights and sounds to experience as we're floating along. And then we connect with the local life at a family finca, which is, a little forest reserve. And then we return to the forest for an up close look at the ecosystem. So we have homemade snacks like banana bread and, of course, local coffee. We visit a primary forest reserve with a guide, and then we learn about all the flora and fauna that make that region so incredibly rich and diverse. So there's over 50 species of this kind of bird that are native to Costa Rica. The answer to this is it's a hummingbird. Over 50 species are native. And we think about hummingbirds in Canada. We're putting out our hummingbird feeders during the summertime, but they are native to Costa Rica. So it's really beautiful to see them in their natural habitat. So then we get to Arenal, where we have that dramatic volcano that really sets the tone for the adventures around it. And this active, don't panic though, this active stratovolcano rises about 5,000 feet above the region. Today, you get to experience the rainforest from above on a guided hanging bridges tour, and you do get that bird's eye view that really just reveals how alive the landscape is. And today's canopy experience supports both preservation and discovery. It is a responsible travel highlight because Mystico Park is dedicated to protecting the rainforest ecosystem. The conservation practices really help minimize that human impact because it's a protected habitat for monkeys, sloths, tropical birds, and of course, many, many more, as we will see as we journey through. And then we get to settle into a lovely little resort for a 3-night stay, framed by, of course, those fantastic volcano views that you have in the background. And, just a little bit more of a balanced pace, a little bit of adventure plus some true downtime. And it's a really good multi-night stay that just kind of makes you feel a little bit more rooted in the destination and not having to worry about constantly moving and having to pack up and move on. So it's just nice to be still. So in the really beautiful, comfortable haven of the Lomas del Volcan, we get to connect with the nature while relaxing from the travels. There's lots of different amenities. There's, beautiful dining ceilings, wildlife sightings that you can see while you're there. Lots of different things that you can engage in the resort itself. And then we do something that is what we call your choice. So we include this as part of the tour. It's not something that's extra. You don't have to pay for it, but it just gives you a choice of two different things that you might want to do. So you can either do some zip lining. Costa Rica supposedly is the birthplace of zip lining, and you can glide over some of the canopies of the jungle, or maybe make your way across some of the lava fields for an up close and personal look at the iconic volcano on a moderate hike. Now, the trek goes along trails that were formed by lava during the massive 1968 eruption. So you're actually walking on that hard rock, or that lava rock from obviously when it erupted in 1968. We do have an optional excursion on this, which we do have the pricing for, but it is a responsible travel highlight. You can actually have the afternoon to yourself, but you can maybe choose an optional finca excursion with an included farm to table lunch. And you get to explore this little classroom without borders, and you learn about sustainability, taste exotic fruit, and enjoy a fresh local meal. Or you could just keep it open-ended. Just really just relax. You can experience La Fortuna's hot springs. You can unwind at the spa, maybe book a massage or a body treatment, or relax by the pool, just soak in some of that sunshine and vitamin D. Maybe get some laps in if you're a little bit more energetic. I think I'd be sitting by the pool myself. And then we, of course, this beautiful place with the volcano as the backdrop. We get to enjoy a day designed, with flexibility in mind. You can either choose more adventure or more rest. You can explore on your own or maybe enjoy some resort time. And it's just a really nice way to recharge before your coastal finale. Um, we do have an optional excursion available on that day too, if you want to. If you're a thrill seeker and you're thinking about whitewater rafting, it is pure adrenaline. You get to navigate the Sarapiqui River with your guide, and just, it's one of Costa Rica's best places to raft if you're ready to go for it. Or if not, just relax. And then the next morning, we get to explore coffee, one of my favorites. Responsible travel highlight. We visit actually a family-owned plantation in the Central Valley. We learn about the sustainable practices like organic farming and water conservation, and we get a real great behind-the-scenes look at the daily life for local coffee farmers. And Costa Rica, fun fact, produces some of the most sought after beans in the world. So if you have a coffee lover in your family, bring them back some beans. They will be forever grateful. It is really good. And then as the scenery shifts, we go from volcano country to the Pacific coast. We arrive in Playa Herradura and settle into the beach resort. And then you have 2 nights framed by ocean views and coastal air, and you have that beautiful end to the day with a sunset view over the water. So our final nights are spent in the Los Sueños Marriott, which is a real beautiful seaside oasis with rainforest at its edge. Beautiful upscale amenities, coastal rhythm, fantastic views, and it's just a really great base for relaxation. Or, if you want thrill seeking, maybe one last adventure. So when we're there, we explore Manuel Antonio National Park. We get to walk some of the scenic paths with the wildlife moving through the canopy overhead. There's some beautiful turquoise water surrounded by all of that lush greenery. You can watch for more sloths, monkeys, maybe some crabs. Don't forget to look down. Or maybe you want to do a little bit of free time. There is a golf course. You can enjoy late afternoon and evening at leisure. You could treat yourself to the spa, maybe test your golf swing. And then they have a pristine adults only pool. So beautiful, beautiful place to finish. And then you also get to explore a little bit, head into the mangroves for an unforgettable wildlife encounter. You boat the Rio Grande on a jungle crocodile safari. Don't worry, they don't get into the boat. And then you can scan the riverbanks for, of course, one of Costa Rica's apex predators. But it's a really thrilling experience that really just showcases the country's wild side. I don't think there's ever a time that you can turn around and not see something. But it does support, the safari itself does support the protection of the Tarcolis River, the ecosystem and its wildlife. The eco-friendly boats actually help reduce pollution. Volunteer cleanups support habitat conservation, and there's crocodiles, there's iguanas, and there's about 120 different bird species. So as I said, there's never a dull moment, and you're always going to see something. So then we head back to San Jose. Our tour ends, and we have one final night and one last chance to have this fantastic shared celebration. And we toast to the Pura Vida of Costa Rica over a delicious multi-course farewell dinner with all of your fellow travelers. So before I go into some of the other things like pricing, I'm going to show you a little video about Costa Rica.
I really thought the day would never come. It's so liberating to finally be able to travel, plus in a place like Costa Rica. I just had to do this before any more time passed.
I was amazed at how diverse this country is. We went to the beach, the cloud forest, we watched dolphins swimming in the ocean. It's just amazing.
What better way to spend my 80th birthday? Pura Vida! Yeehaw! It's awesome. I'm embarrassed because I'm cheering. Oh, you should.
This is the first time that I've been out of the country, and it was a fabulous trip of a lifetime for me.
We're blessed to be able to get out and go again. We've been traveling with Colette for 16 years, and it's just been an awesome experience. You know, you can't put off tomorrow because you don't know that tomorrow's going to come. So I'm just very grateful to be out here.
It was beyond my expectations. This has been a trip of a lifetime, but at the same time, it's really put the travel bug in me, and I can't wait to go out and do it again. And I really want to do this so much more and learn all about these different countries and cultures and the people, and Colette really is the best.
This was a trip of a lifetime because it was a celebration of our 50th wedding anniversary. Costa Rica is one of the most beautiful places I've ever been.
The feeling I get traveling each time is just exhilaration, it's excitement. Go for it. It's safe to travel. Get up and go do it.
So I love that video. I love the lady that's celebrating her 80th birthday, flying down a zip line and everybody singing happy birthday to her. I mean, you can't get much better than that. So wanted to quickly just talk about one of the biggest things that we do very well is our travel protection. We have what we call a no worries travel protection. So when you're putting your deposit down, We have a travel protection that you can purchase at the same time. It is a flat rate, and there is no medical questionnaire, and there's no age limit for this travel protection. And it gives you that chance to cancel for any reason. So up to 24 hours prior to departure, you could cancel for any reason whatsoever and get a full refund, uh, less the cost of the insurance, and full refund back to your form of payment up to 24 hours prior to departure. No reason. Just, any reason, basically. Cancel for any reason. And of course, you're covered on tour. Medical assistance, evacuation, baggage loss, delay, and you're covered from start to finish. So it is a really thorough, very good travel protection plan, and just having that peace of mind. It's been we've been doing this for many, many years, and it's just a really great insurance to have, so that you feel that you are protected regardless. So let's talk about Pura Vida. Pura Vida, the ultimate Costa Rica experience. The deposit with Blow Stewart Travel is $1,000 per person, non-refundable. And then the cancel for any reason insurance is $699. Again, no medical questionnaire, no age limit. This rate does not change. It is $699. And your final payment is due October 23rd. It is priced at $6,216 per person based on double. Plus, of course, the insurance itself. And then there's tons of inclusions, of course, included with this. You've got the round trip airfare from Pearson. You've got the round trip airport transfers in destination. You have the services of that tour host throughout, local manager, of course, tour host being our lovely Nicole, the tour manager, the driver. You've got that accommodation, those meals that are included, including breakfast every single day. Everything is included. All of these things like the nature cruises, the zip line, the entrance to the Manuel National Park, jungle crocodile safaris, all of this thing that we talked about that's included. And if you have any questions, please feel free to contact Nicole. She'll be happy to answer any questions that you have. She is going to be your host, so she's the person to talk to. But if you have any questions, you are more than happy to raise or unmute yourself now and ask any questions that you may have about this tour.
And if you can't figure out how to unmute yourself, you can put it in the chat.
Yeah.
And I'll read it out to Heidi. I don't know. I'm just gonna open this up. See if there's anyone who's.
Hi, Nicole. I have a question for you.
Oh, sure.
Okay. My husband and I were wondering if there's an opportunity to go fishing.
Oh, that's a good question.
That's
Heidi, that would be you, actually.
That would be me. So what I'll do is when you're doing, the only way that you would be fishing is maybe off the coast when you're staying at that coastal resort closer to the end. But that's something that I can find out if the resort actually offers something like that, because obviously they would need to supply, maybe the off coast fishing. Maybe there's a boat that would be doing a tour, but that's something that I can find out, and I'll make a note of it about fishing. And
Kathy, are you thinking like deep sea fishing? Sorry, are you thinking deep sea?
Looking at your video, and I'm like, wow, like you're looking down, he's going down shore coastal fishing, or maybe you'd be out on the boat a little further, but you don't want to miss the other excursions too. So I guess it's, time depending, right? Because it's probably a couple hours or.
Well, you do have quite a bit of free time at the end, right? There is a lot of, good free time where you can enjoy, like we were talking about the fact that Costa Rica is very well known for its all-inclusive resorts, but you get the best of both worlds. You have that little bit of relaxation, that time maybe in a pool or doing a spa or maybe sitting on the beach. And there's some things that you can take advantage of while you're doing that stop, because we're spending multiple nights in some of those destinations. Right. So I'll find out.
That's something we definitely would like to know about. If we decide to book, would you be able to help us with getting or booking something like that?
Well, I'd be able to inquire whether or not it's available, and then
Right.
find out
I
if
can
there's
book
something
those.
that you could do in destination. You might be able to request it at the resort.
That sounds good. That's exactly what I need to know. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
It looks like we have another question in the
Yeah.
chat. So how long is the travel time via bus between locations? For
It's
example,
not.
the longest time on the bus.
Yeah. I mean, really, it's I mean, you've traveled obviously to Costa Rica before, you know, sort of the distance. It's not that far. And we don't
Yeah.
necessarily, because we're spending a lot of time in the destinations, it's really a means to get from A to B. You know, you can, you know, you're spending a lot more time in the destination doing jungle cruises, zip lining, exploring the resort. So you're not spending a lot of time. It's just, it's a means of being able to get from place to place. And, you know, at the moment, I think it's maybe like an hour or two, maybe at the very, very most, the longest drive, but most of the
Yeah.
time it's actually
Yeah.
fairly quick. Yeah.
The only time it gets long is if you hit a Costa Rican traffic jam, and
Yes.
honestly, it's usually not too bad.
Yeah.
So that's from my experience, and we went like San Jose, Monteverde, over to Tortuga Island, and then we went to the Nicoya Peninsula. So we were like
Nice.
really all covering a lot of ground, and it was like two. Yeah. So there's a second part to that question, and there's a couple after there. So
Yep.
is it
Yep.
possible to pay extra to arrive a day early in Costa Rica to recover from the flight?
Yep. So you could do
So
a
a pre-night.
pre-night. Yeah, you could do a pre-night. Not a problem. If you decided you wanted to do the flight at a separate time, arrive a day early, just kind of get your bearings in San Jose. That's something that you could potentially do, and just and that way you're there for you arrive the day before, you've got the whole day, and then everybody else arrives, and you have that time to meet everybody that night before everybody leaves to go to their first destination. So yeah, you can do that if you wish, for sure. And
So
then,
we can do
yeah,
flight deviations. And
yeah,
Janice is asking what airline. I believe it's Air Canada that we're
yeah,
using. That's the only direct flight from
mhm.
Pearson.
Yes,
And it's about a 4.5 hour flight going and 5 maximum coming back. So it's really not too bad. Yeah, it's just it'd be comparable to flying to the West Coast if you've ever flown that way, or
yeah,
Western
yeah,
United States. Next question is Dawn McCartney is asking, thanks for outlining what's included. Wondering if we can comment on typical things that are not included and what
yeah,
we should budget for. So like the flyer says, we've
yeah,
got um, breakfast included daily. All 3 meals are included in Tortuguero, I believe, at the Eco Lodge. We have, is it 3 dinners?
yeah, I
I
got
just
the
don't
last.
have it pulled up in front of me because I'm working off
There you
my
go.
phone because my
There you go.
computer didn't work. Okay. 11 breakfasts, 4 lunches, and 8 dinners. So,
Hmm.
I mean, an average meal cost when I was in Costa Rica, it's all pretty relative to here. So well, that was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I was averaging about $30 a meal for
Hmm.
myself.
Yeah.
Um, and then alcohol obviously isn't included at the resort. So if you do want to purchase a drink, I
Yes.
believe they'll take a credit card on file when you check in, and then you pay your bill when we check out the next day
Yeah.
or whenever we're leaving.
Yeah.
Gratuities are also recommended for the driver and the
Yes.
guide.
Yes.
Do you have a guideline of what that is per
We will
day, or
really,
do you
yeah.
just kind of?
No, we will make sure that once obviously we've got the ball rolling and people are paying deposits, and you know we get more documentation out, that we'll have a guideline as to what you need to budget for a driver and a guide. They're the only ones we actually, as of 2027, beginning of 2027, any local guides that we have, all of that is already included. It's just for the driver and the guide itself, the main guide that you will have.
And I
And
take
Phil and
tips and
Yeah, I
smiles.
was about to say, feel free to tip Nicole
No,
in the
don't.
coconut candy that you obviously get to sample while you're
Coffee
there, and the coffee. Yeah.
and coffee. Yeah. Yeah. And then Henrietta had asked, are all the resorts all inclusive? They're not.
No.
Um, And then the airline we answered was Air Canada. Does anyone else have any other questions about the tour itself or Costa Rica, or any concerns about any of the activities?
I might
I
if
have
I
a
can.
question.
Okay.
Sure.
Oh, go ahead.
I'll wait. You go ahead.
Okay. My curiosity is around the price. It said double occupancy. So is that like $6+ grand per person? And does that
Yes.
include the flights?
Yes.
Yes and yes.
Yes and yes.
Okay. That's pretty simple.
So everything that's included in, which I will send out, like once we're done with the call, like we'll have it recorded, and then tomorrow when I'm back in the office, I'll send out a flyer to everybody so you can take a closer look at it. But everything that's included is on the flyer and the price.
That's
So,
great. And the PowerPoint, is that available for review?
yes, I will send it out to everybody
That
as
would be
well.
great.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, and then next there was another question there. Someone else was trying to chime in.
Hi, I had a question about the cost. My question is, if there's a price change, would there be a price change because of fuel costs, or is this price included in anything like that?
This is a set cost.
Okay.
That's a good question. That's the $1 million question these days. So,
Yeah.
so it's a good question.
Yeah.
But yes, what you see is what you get. There's going to be no
Yeah.
surprises. The pricing is as it appears on the flyer. And then the only additional cost would be those additional excursions like the whitewater rafting, the farm to table lunch.
Yeah.
If you choose to do that, those are the only two additional.
Yeah.
And I believe the whitewater rafting, what is that, $99 Canadian?
Yeah.
And then the farm to table is
I'd have to look that
49.
one. Yeah, roughly. Yeah, because it's on the
And then Yasmin had a great question.
Cost again?
I'm sorry, Kathy?
The farm to table tour, the cost of that?
You know what? Let me have a quick look and I will find it for you.
That'll
But I
be
can send
included on the flyer that you'll send out to us, though.
Yes, it's all on the flyer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought it was like I thought it was 49 or 59.
Oh,
something
49.
like that.
Okay, because I heard 4.99.
Oh no.
Oh God. No,
Okay,
that
that's
would,
better.
wow. That would, I hope that'd be a
it
private
must be an
chat.
all-day feast.
Definitely
Are we
not.
working on the farm as well, or?
No.
Yeah,
No.
you're earning the rest of the tour. That's what it is. Yeah.
Because we're trying to get away from the farm, right? We don't want to come to another farm.
Yeah. And then Yasmin had a great question in the chat. She said, "How long are the water travels? Are they very bumpy, wavy rides?" Asking as someone who suffers from motion sickness.
So it is a river. That's the easiest way to describe it. You're not going to be, yes, it's air conditioned. I'll talk about that too. But for the actual river jungle rides, it's incredibly slow because think about the animals in the rainforest. We're not going to be moving at a very fast pace. It's a very slow crawl, I guess, along the river. So there's not a lot of movement. Now, if you do get some type of motion sickness, then I would just make sure that you have something with you just to be on the safe side. I've traveled around, say, for example, the rivers in Venice, going from the Lido to the, Venice Mestre mainland, and being on a boat like that with a water taxi, yes, you need some type of motion sickness because it is bumpy. This doesn't have a lot of traffic because of the ecosystem and the way that everything is very sustainable. They don't allow a lot of boats into the jungle to do this type of viewing. So really, you're going to be the only one. So it's not going to be very fast paced, but just take some stuff with you just in case. But I just wanted to note to say that too. And then we did have, obviously Janice popped up and I was like, yes, it is. Our coaches are very lovely. They do have, air conditioning, but you're not spending a lot of time on it. So that's another reason maybe to take motion sickness tablets, only because, as I explained at the beginning, and Nicole knows this for sure, winding roads, very bumpy. So if you do get motion sickness, you're more likely to get it traveling on the coach for that brief period than you would actually being on water.
Yes, it can be, especially when you're going up towards like into higher elevation.
Yes.
I couldn't believe the drivers that we had there. Like I would never drive there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you're going up winding roads. They slow down. Like you're not, it's a very nice pace. It's not like 401 driving here. It's like you're going like 60 kilometers and checking out scenery and they in between stops, like, do we stop for like comfort stops or
Oh,
anything like that,
absolutely.
Heidi? Yeah,
Absolutely.
so
Like if we're going to be
there will
on,
be breaks. Yeah. So there will be breaks as we go. Any other questions? Oh, I think, someone's unmuting themselves.
It's either that or they're getting their dinner ready. I think I heard the microwave.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Well, I think
Okay.
I can hear my dog trying to get in the room here.
So if anybody has any other questions, please feel free to reach out to Nicole. She'll be sending out the information, obviously, and if there's something that she can't answer, she has me on speed dial. So if there's anything that I need to find out, I will find about the fishing. But as I said, if you have any other questions, please feel free to reach out. I look forward to hearing about all your travels. I want to see somebody ziplining like that 80-year-old. Somebody please take a video if you do, because I think it would be absolutely amazing to zip line over that canopy. I think you all could do it. I think you all could do it. Anyway.
And then one final ad too. So my mom said I will for sure. Well, I'll watch her from the ground because I did it.
Yeah.
I tried to do it when I was there and I chickened out at the third platform. So but it is very safe. They do a really great job looking after you there. But one final thing I wanted to add is that we do actually already have 10 spots filled on this tour. There's been a lot of interest and it's going to fill up really fast. So, I mean, if it's popular, we might have to do a second one, but just keep that in mind that it's becoming a very in-demand group tour and experience that we're doing, and there is only a maximum of 24 spots. So, yeah. Okay, great. Well, thank you so much, Heidi, and thank you for joining, everyone.
Yes.
We hope you enjoyed the presentation, and I will send the presentation plus the flyer out to everyone tomorrow. And if there's any questions, I'll have my contact information. You can contact me directly or whatever agent you work with within the company, and they can certainly help you. So, perfect.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great evening. Bye.
Okay, take care.
Okay.
See ya.
Bye, Nicole. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.